Hi there, Working Homeschool Mom. This is Charlotte from Charlotte Jones 24/7 and My Little Homeschool. And this is episode number 64 of the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. And today I'm going to be talking about homeschool mom anxiety. As homeschool moms, it's very easy to feel anxiety. It can come from outside, it can come from inside, it can come from not knowing what to do. It can come from our kids being resistant or reluctant. There are many things that can cause us anxiety, and we've all been there. So that's why today I want to give some tips and strategies for overcoming homeschool mom anxiety in a positive way. Before we get to the episode, I would be ever so grateful if you could rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. It just means that more working homeschool moms can find it, and in that way, we can support each other. Thank you so much. Hello and welcome to the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. This is Charlotte Jones. I'm a homeschool coach and homeschooling mom of twin boys. I know it can feel really overwhelming to keep all the balls in the air all the time. So each week I chat about tips and strategies for being a happy and thriving working homeschool mom that you can implement in your life too. I also speak to awesome and inspiring women who manage to juggle homeschooling and work successfully and find out what their secrets are. Be sure to check out my time audit and mindset challenge in the show notes and sign up to my newsletter for lots of cool freebies. And if you ever need to chat, please book in a session with me. I'm so excited for you to be here and I hope you'll get so much value out of this episode. So let's get started. Are you looking for a new math curriculum? Well, I'm thrilled to introduce our favorite math curriculum to you. CTC Math specializes in providing online video tutorials that take a multi-sensory approach to learning. Favorably reviewed in Kathy Duffy's 102 Top Picks and the Old Schoolhouse Crew review, the lessons are short and concise to help your children break down concepts and appreciate math in a whole new way. The lessons are taught the traditional way and not to a test. Each one of the video tutorials is taught by an internationally acclaimed teacher, Pat Murray, who is renowned for teaching math concepts in a simple, easy-to-understand way and in only a few minutes at a time. Using a multi-sensory approach means having the combination of effective graphics and animation synchronized with the voice of a friendly teacher together with a practical assessment. This three-pronged attack makes learning so much easier and more effective. Even students who struggled with math are getting fantastic results, and ones who were doing okay before are now doing brilliantly. Visit ctcmath.com today to start your free trial. CTC Maths is generously offering my listeners an amazing special. Go to www.ctcmath.com/MLH to get a half-price discount plus a bonus 6 months for free. That's ctcmath.com/MLH. Let's talk about how to beat homeschool mom anxiety with a positive attitude. Homeschool mom anxiety is definitely a thing. It's a lot of pressure to decide to homeschool your kids, and it's very easy to feel like you're carrying the world on your shoulders. So in this episode, I want to look at some practical ways that you can beat homeschool mom anxiety in a positive way and how you can hopefully prevent it from coming back in full force again. It's definitely normal to feel anxiety from time to time, but if you feel like your anxiety is interfering with your life, please seek help. So what causes homeschool mom anxiety? Obviously, different things stress different people out, but I have found some common things that homeschool moms find stressful based on my podcast guests and my Facebook group members. So homeschool moms can feel anxious because they feel external pressure from friends, family, society, or they put pressure on themselves and want everything to be perfect. They don't know where to start or what to do, or they are overwhelmed with curriculum choices. Maybe they have children who are resistant and reluctant to learn, like I do. And maybe they can't manage to keep on top of housework, laundry, cooking, etc. So as you can see, anxiety comes in many different forms and from many different sources. But I don't want to dwell on this. I want to look at some ways that you can beat homeschool mom anxiety with a positive attitude. So let's talk about that feeling of pressure that comes from the outside and from the inside. We want to do things perfectly and make the people around us proud. I think it's pretty normal. Lots of us feel like that. But I can guarantee you that this adds unnecessary anxiety and stress to your life. And when it comes to homeschooling, the whole experience is much better without this pressure. So what are some ways that you can get out from under this heavy burden? Because it can become a heavy burden very easily. External pressure can be really hard to get rid of. So apart from telling people to jump in the lake, which I know isn't easy for most of us, you can find a community of supportive women. When you have people in your corner, it's much easier to face the naysayers. And then in terms of internal pressure, being okay with doing your best is one of the best ways to get rid of internal pressure that many of us women feel. Rather, embrace the imperfection and find your own messy way forward. Once you ignore your inner critic, which I know can be very, very loud, you'll be surprised by what you can actually accomplish. And what about if you feel like you just don't know where to start? Somebody asked me recently if I had tips for women thinking about starting to homeschool their kids, and my honest gut response was just go for it. I know that's easy for me to say because I started back in 2017, but to be honest, I did jump into homeschooling and I've never regretted it. Has it always been easy? Nope. But has it been a success? Absolutely. I definitely think it has. So if you're at the beginning and you don't know where to start, then I say just take the leap. But let me also give you some tips for when the homeschool mom anxiety threatens because you don't know what to do. You can start by deciding on a date and then start getting your mind around this. And as I said before, find a community to support you. It's so much easier to do something new when you have a community of people to support you. Something practical, if you do live in a state, in America, for example, that needs homeschool records, then find somebody who can give you a hand with this. And then do some research on deschooling because I promise you it's going to be your best friend. And then be prepared to spend some time figuring it all out. I think the biggest thing when you start homeschooling is to get your mindset right. You need to be open-minded, willing to learn, and also willing to fail. So it's a really great time to work on your growth mindset. Let's talk about the curriculum crisis next. A lot of new homeschoolers spend a lot of time on finding the perfect curriculum. And I totally get why. It gives guidance, direction, and a feeling of security at a time when you might feel like you don't know what to do. But there's a lot of choice out there, so this task can easily cause a lot of anxiety. And apart from all the options, it's very easy to choose a curriculum that doesn't actually suit you and your kids. Seeing someone else you admire use a particular program can easily influence you to buy it. And this can cause homeschool mom anxiety when you've spent a lot of money and your kids are just not into it. But I have some alternative ideas to choosing your curriculum right at the beginning of your homeschooling journey, and I'm positive they will reduce your stress level. Firstly, figure out how your kid learns. Do they like to work online or do they prefer workbooks? Do your children love to read or do they prefer watching videos? Spend the time really getting to know their learning style because this is going to save you so much time and money later on when you choose your curriculum or resources. Allow your child to play and decompress, especially if you've taken them out of public school. They're going to need some time to adjust to the new normal. And once they're ready, you can think about the curriculum you want to choose. And get your kiddo involved. At school, kids are never asked what they want to learn. But homeschooling is the perfect opportunity to allow them to take ownership of their learning. Ask them what they want to learn, and you'll have a much better idea of what kind of curriculum to choose. Having a reluctant or a resistant learner can make homeschooling really hard and spike that stress. Having a child that is resistant to learning causes so much homeschool mom anxiety. Ask me, I know. My kids are so reluctant to homeschool that I've even had to rebrand. We now do fun time, learn time rather than homeschooling. Facing their resistance has definitely been one of my biggest struggles, and I know lots of homeschool moms who have the same issue. So let me give you some proven ways that have worked for us to overcome even the most unyielding learner. One thing that has really worked for us is to homeschool year round. This gives us so much more flexibility, but more importantly, it allows us to do a lot less every day. I incentivize my kids. Once they're done with learning, they get some time on YouTube. I know a lot of people frown on this. It's so much less stressful than fighting and screaming. And my boys get Fridays off. It's a day when they can do what they want and they love it, but it is dependent on them meeting their goals during the week. We have taken many, many, many much needed breaks during our homeschooling journey. Sometimes it's really best to stop and then to regroup. If your kids just don't want to, then maybe you need to rethink how and what they're learning. And finally, let's talk about the mess and the housework and the cooking. If you're overwhelmed with all the housework, chores, mealtime laundry, and mess, then I see you. We've all been there, and it can be really hard to get used to it. But in this case, acceptance is your best defense. Letting go of the idea of a Pinterest perfect house is going to reduce your stress so much, not to mention accepting that it's okay for kids not to eat the most nutritious, beautiful, fresh meal every day. It's okay to eat pizza. Laundry can also wait a few days, and who really needs ironed shirts and sheets? We don't do any ironing. And if somebody comments about some dust balls or grabbing windows, give them a class and ask them to help out. But I do have some solutions for managing your house in a more manageable way. Very simple things that you can do. You can do a load of laundry every day so that it never piles up, because it can be so overwhelming to do loads and loads and loads of laundry. And you could cook a little bit extra every time you cook and freeze it, or you could meal plan. I think I spend maybe 3 hours on a Saturday cooking for the week, and it really saves me so much time and stress. And then clean one room or area daily. Obviously, this depends on you. I find that cleaning a small amount every day is better for me rather than cleaning for one whole day over the weekend. Get your kids involved. If they're homeschooled, then it's a good opportunity to get them to do chores or to teach them to do chores, which is important as well. And then if you can, have one area or room where the kids can make the mess they need to learn. Ideally, you want to close that door, because learning can be messy, homeschooling can be messy, and it can be very stressful to always have to tidy up everything all the time. So if you can even allocate a small area where they can do what they want, it will save so much stress and anxiety for everybody. So just some final thoughts on homeschool mom anxiety. If you need help and support on your homeschool mom journey, please reach out. As a coach, it's my mission to alleviate the stress and anxiety of being a homeschool mom. Having someone who gets it is just so powerful, because it will show you that you can do it and also that you're not alone. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Drop me a DM on Instagram or post on the Working Homeschool Mom support group over on Facebook, and let me know what resonated the most with you. It would also be great if you could rate, review, and subscribe, or share the podcast with a working homeschool mom who might need it. It's my mission to support as many working homeschool moms as possible. Until next time, take care. Hi there, Working Homeschool Mom. This is Charlotte from Charlotte Jones 24/7 and My Little Homeschool. And this is episode number 64 of the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. And today I'm going to be talking about homeschool mom anxiety. As homeschool moms, it's very easy to feel anxiety. It can come from outside, it can come from inside, it can come from not knowing what to do,